Good evening, boys and girls. We're back for another story time with Mr. Kepke. I have a wonderful book for you this morning, and this is Miss Bobo's favorite book, or one of her favorite books. And she's a 5K assistant in our building, a wonderful teacher, and a wonderful lady. The name of the book is Stephanie's Ponytail, and it's by Robert Munch. One day, Stephanie went to her mom and said, "None of the kids in my class have a ponytail. I want a nice ponytail coming right out the back." So Stephanie's mom gave her a nice ponytail coming right out the back. When Stephanie went to school, the other kids looked at her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." The next morning, when Stephanie went to school, all the other girls had ponytails coming out the back. Stephanie looked at them and said, "You are all a bunch of copycats. You just do whatever I do. You don't have a brain in your heads." Have you ever felt like that? Like you go to school and people copy you? That's how Stephanie's feeling. The next morning, Mom said, "Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out the back?" Stephanie said, "No." "Then that's that," said her mom. "That's the only place you can do ponytails." "No, it's not," said Stephanie. "I want one coming out the side, just above my ear." "Very strange," said Mom. "Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming right out above her right ear. When she went to school, the other kids saw her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." The next morning, when Stephanie came to school, all the girls and even some boys had nice ponytails coming out just above their ears. The next morning, Mom said, "Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out the back?" She said, "No." "Would you like one coming out the side?" "No." "Then that's that," said her mom. "There's no other place you can do ponytails." "Yes, there is," said Stephanie. "I want one coming out the top of my head like a tree." "That's very, very strange," said her mom. "Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. Her dad looks really shocked, if you can see the picture. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out the top of her head like a tree. When Stephanie went to school, the other kids saw her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." The next day, all the girls and all the boys had ponytails coming out the top. It looked like broccoli was growing out of their heads. The next morning, the mom said, "Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out the back?" Stephanie said, "No." "Would you like one coming out the side?" "No." "Would you like one coming out the top?" "No." "Then that's definitely that," said the mom. "There's no other place that you can do ponytails." "Yes, there is," said Stephanie. "I want one coming out the front, hanging down in front of my nose." "But nobody will know if you're coming or going," her mom said. "Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out the front. On the way to school, she bumped into 4 trees, 3 cars, 2 houses, and 1 principal. When she finally got to her class, the other kids saw her and said, what do you think they said? "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." The next day, all the girls and all the boys, and even the teacher, had ponytails coming out the front and hanging down in front of their noses. None of them could see where they were going. They bumped into the desk and bumped into each other. They bumped into the walls, and by mistake, 3 girls went into the boys' bathroom. Stephanie yelled, "You are a bunch of brainless copycats. You just do whatever I do. When I come tomorrow, I'm going to have my head shaved." Do you think she'll do it? The first person to come in the next day was the teacher. She had her head shaved, and she was bald. The next to come were the boys. They had shaved their heads, and they were bald. The next to come were the girls. They had shaved their heads, and they were bald. The last person to come was Stephanie, and she had a nice little ponytail coming right out the back. Look at Stephanie running from them all. They're all chasing her. It's a nice little book. I really like that Stephanie was an individual. And I hope that each of you are proud of who you are, because I'm very proud of each of you. And I love you very much, and I hope you have a good night.